Ursula Roderick, Louisville, Kentucky.
Hey, Ursula.
Hey.
Hello.
Don't let Kenita Kelly hear you say Louisville like that. You gotta say Louisville.
Kansas City here.
Hey, Anthony.
Well, they're gonna have to come find me then.
Yeah, we had that conversation this weekend, Dunbar.
Did y'all?
You know, my husband is a alumni of the University of Louisville.
Say Louisville like that. You gotta say Louisville. All right. So we on Facebook. We on not Facebook. We on YouTube. We ready to go. We are ready to go. All right. So guys, tonight we are going to be covering proper field training, the questions that you should be asking the field trainer, the questions that the field trainer should be asking you, like when you should be, how to properly use a field trainer. Let me shut this thing down. Hold on. How to properly use a field trainer. And different field trainers will tell you guys how all of that stuff will work for them, particularly because some things are just industry with field training, and some things are person specific, how they do their field training. So you guys will hear all of those different things as well. We're going to have some results on the road checks. So Mr. Randy Hooker is going to be talking about that. He's going to pull something up on the screen and talk a little bit about that. And what else? I may have a form I'm going to show you guys. It depends on how much time we have. If not, you guys will just get an email about it. But I have a form that you can use to track your numbers a little bit better that I created and sent out to some people, but I'll get it out to everybody. If we have some time today, we'll talk about it. If not, you'll just get it and we'll talk about it next week. So we'll see how much time we have, what we can get through, what we can't get through, and move forward from there. We're going to do a little bit of Q&A if we can as well. So guys, just sit tight. We're going to get started with our introductions and then move into our information. If you are not registered for the up-and-coming CDLP certification this coming Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Time, get registered because the registration will end on Friday. So please do not be sending no messages on Friday telling what you can't get in because it's going to be too late. And corporate covers that. Not Alan Roman, not myself. So we can't get you in the class if you don't register on time. So you either have to register on time or you're not going to be able to get in. Don't look for live training because there's not going to be any more. So you're going to keep hearing that week after week. No more business solutions live, level 1, level 2 CDLP certification. We're not doing those live anymore. Those are all being done only online. So if you're waiting for a live class, don't hold your breath because it's not going to happen unless you're at a corporate event. We have like our events in Arizona and things like that, the 2 big corporate events a year. And I believe they're going to have some regional kickoff boot camp type things that they're going to be doing over time too as well. So everything is going to be just log into your computer, take your trainings. It's good and bad with all of that. We know what the bad is. You want to see people live, but we know what the good is as well. You can take it from anywhere. So you get new people on your team that can't travel, can't move around. They can go on and take those live trainings. Those electronic trainings or virtual trainings, we like to call them. So this coming Saturday, Alan Roman and myself will be doing a CDLP certification training, 3 p.m. Central Time. No, that would not be 7 o'clock. I think it's 6 o'clock Eastern Time. But it's 10 a.m. Central Time. It's going to be 11 Eastern Time. And 10 o'clock Central Time. So it's just going to be an hour apart from Eastern Time there with that, for the person that asked that question. So get yourself registered for it if you want to get on it. We're going to give some good information. Me and Alan Roman will be training together. It'll be my first time training with Alan Roman. So I'm excited about that. So we're going to be tag teaming this thing out, and we're going to have a good time. So any questions about that? Just hit me up, text me, or message Alan or myself, or you can go right into LS Engage and register for that training. But get registered by Friday, because Friday midday it will be shutting down. So that's how that works. Wanda, I'm not sure. I'll try to get that answered at some point during this. I couldn't see a question that went too quick, but I'll put up the chat and I'll look at it now, and I'll let you guys know the answer to that question, whatever is concerning about the training. But again, guys, all virtual training at this point, no more live training. So every month on the third Saturday, you will see a CDLP certification training with Alan Roman and another one of the trainers that you hear on here every week. So it'll be either Alan and myself, or Alan and Sharon, or Alan and Chris Seelig, or Alan and Lamar Reynolds, or Alan and John Hoffman. That's how it's going to run from this point on. So with that being said, thank you guys again for being on. Sharon Ivy, I'm going to turn it over to you so you can get started with introductions, and then we'll go through the introductions and then get started on our information. So, Ms.
So
Sharon,
can you clear up again what time the training is?
10 a.m. Central Time. Same time, guys. It is every month. It's the same time. 10 a.m. Central Time is when it starts. It ends at 3 p.m. Central Time. So if you're on East Coast, it's going to be 11 to 4. Is that right? 11, is that, am I saying that right? 11 to 4,
Yeah,
right?
you're right. Okay.
Yeah. 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. if you're on East Coast.
Gotcha. Okay. Just wanted to know. Okay, cool. All righty. Well, my name is Sharanda Ivy. I'm here in Byron, Georgia. Just got back from Cabo San Lucas, and excited to be on tonight. And so I am the CDLP trainer out of Georgia. Had a pleasure of laughing with Mr. Alan Roman. So I know that Dunbar and him will be cutting up on Saturday. So I'll be on to see that. And so been with LegalShield for 8 years, business solutions, Sapphire associate, small biz, special forces, really one of the top small biz producers right now in the company. 2019 field trainer of the year. And we've earned our 1000 App Award, production award. And just so proud that I was able to decide what my major was. And thanks for, trainers like Lamar and Dunbar, I really found my niche here in this space. And just so proud every day of learning more about the industry and learning more about how we can master that with the company, and just using that, helping the carriers out there. I remember Lamar used to say how he got up every day looking for transportation companies. And so that's what I do now. I have a lot of groups, and they are, diverse groups, because when I first started my business, I just did solutions. But honestly, now I get up every day looking for some type of transportation company or carrier that I can help with our services. So just proud of this call, because it hasn't always been here. And for the ones that are new on the call, you definitely want to come to this call, because this is really where you learn how to market to carriers and transportation companies. You can get certified, but you're definitely going to learn here how individuals are using this service out in the market. And so I'm just thankful for, Dunbar and Lamar for starting this class, starting this training platform here, because it really has enhanced my business, and I know a lot of others. So I host an accountability call on Thursday nights, more like a mastermind. It's about 20, 25 people get on that call, and those individuals have been plugged in probably ever since I started. And you've seen a lot of them on recognition lately, and I'm so proud, because that's what separates the masses, those who stick and stay. And so, just so proud of those who have, mastered the mundane. Even in the pandemic, they figured it out, and now they are opening new groups, selling some biz plans, and just learning. And so, just proud to be able to serve the market. And with that, I turn it over to you, Randy.
Well, thanks, Sharanda. Randy Hooker, I've got a 1,000 app award, working at right at 1,500. And then we did the major in 2018. I've been in the company since 2008, and I've done all aspects of the business, brokers, and whatnot, but got into CDL 8 months to earn the $50,000 ring. And then we work commercial drivers every day. Our biggest thing is explaining the membership and learning to educate the drivers and or the companies. Once educated, they buy our product. It's not a product that has to be sold, but you have to learn how to educate as to what we do and how we do it. So with that, Lamar, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Randy. I'm proud of you. And Sharonda, I'm proud of you. And there's many of them, many people on this call that I'm very proud of, because in this Monday night, if you can find your sea legs, in other words, of something you can really latch onto. And I remember talking to Sharonda when she was just learning how to find trucking companies. She was walking a board. I believe it was out in a muddy parking lot. She was, and she had called me and took a picture of that. Said, I'm trying to get up here to this trucking company. Can you help me to understand what to say once I get in there? And so that's what this call is all about, is really understanding what to do once you get that opportunity. And there, we're going to be talking about tonight some of the basic things that maybe your upline can be helping you with a little bit on some of the real basics things that we're going to be talking about. But anyway, I'm Lamar Reynolds, and I'm out of Houston, Texas. And I'm in my 16th year with LegalShield, and I've been selling the CDLP membership for over 13 years now. And I've been a trainer for over 12 years. And as Sharonda said it so perfectly, I just get up every day and call on trucking companies and talk to drivers. And miraculously, I get phone calls. I think I got 3 of them out of the blue today calling me. And one guy, I forgot to even ask him how he got my name and phone number, but it makes no difference. They call me and I sign them up. And that's what it's all about. And so it takes a while to get your name out there and the referrals flowing in. I know AJ there, he's working on that. I mean, when he sells a membership, he asks for a referral. And you hand out that business card. And if anybody on this call runs out of business cards, call me. I will give you some to hand out. Sharon's laughing about that. So, hey, it works. It really works. It's a powerful thing. And once you ask drivers to give your name out, they will do it. Okay. And so by selling the CDL program and transportation, I've earned the 50,000 K ring and the 100,000 K ring. And I've sold over 5,000 memberships. I'm working on 6,000. And I don't know if I'm gonna make it all the way through this year, but on the 6,000, but if I don't, I'll hit it early part of next year. I'm part of the Special Forces and the Solution Emerald Elites, but it's just such an honor to be on this call to help every one of you out there to understand transportation and how you can really have success. If this is the platform you're choosing, if it's transportation, and I hope it is, because you'll never run out of prospects. You'll never run out of prospects. If it's transportation, we can really, if you'll plug in here on Monday nights, we can really help you understand what the opportunity is. And we can give you some breadcrumbs of leading you to how to close that group. Okay. And that's what this call is all about. So Sharon, if you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll turn it over to Robert.
Great, great. Good evening, family. Hope all is well this evening. My name is Sharon Holiday. I'm originally from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Now I reside down in Miami, Florida, Miami Lakes, Florida. I'm the newest certified field trainer. I specialize in the commercial driver space, but I do all of the areas of B2B, small business, employee benefits. And right now I'm back at home. I'm back in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I just came from the Los Cabos trip just as well. And I'm here to service some of my accounts. I have over 40 accounts back here in Hampton Roads. And so I will do my best to reach as many as I possibly can, but I do intend on open up 3 trucking companies while I'm here, and a couple of regular B2B accounts also. I'm 19 years in the business and definitely learning each and every time I get on this call. I'll never stop learning. I love the accountability call, like Sharonda say. It's about 25 of us, and just here last, I think week before last, about 5 to 7 of them were recognized on the call for their activities. And so we know that the trucking company is such low-hanging fruit. It's ridiculous. But definitely the referrals is the way to go. Before I left for Cabo, I opened up, it was a split that I opened up 6 drivers with on that at the 11th hour when I'm packing my bags to go. But I stayed up late to pack just to protect those drivers on protect their livelihood and their CDLs as well. So I will turn the call back over to you, Mr. Dunbar. Thank you for allowing me to share.
All right. So, a trainer, any trainer, it doesn't matter. I'm about to ask a question. Do drivers receive CSA points on their record for non-moving violations? Question of the day. Do drivers receive CSA points on their record for non-moving violations? Any trainer, come on.
So answer yes.
Yes,
Huh?
yes.
The simple
Yes.
answer, yes.
Yes.
Simple
If
answer,
it's
yes.
infraction or violation,
I like simple answers.
if it's an infraction or violation, it's a yes. Even a warning can do that.
All right, good stuff.
Another way you could explain it, Robert, if it's a certified DOT officer that stopped you on a roadside inspection and he wrote it up, those points are going in your record as a driver.
All right, good
Now,
stuff.
if it's a local policeman and he stopped you for speeding and he's not DOT certified, that will go into your MVR, your state record. So everybody knows on the call, a commercial driver has got 2 records. He's got a federal record and he's got a state record. The federal record comes out of roadside inspections or through scale houses with a certified DOT officer. Okay, that's where if he writes something up, there's going to be points, even in warnings or citations. But those CSA points, like Robert's saying, it's going in your record, okay, and the federal record. And it's a moving violation just by a city policeman out there. Let's say you were speeding and he caught you for speeding. Well, if you're going 10% over the speed limit, that's going to go into your MVR, your state MVR. And if you're from out of state, like if you're from Kentucky and you get a ticket in Texas, if you're found guilty or you don't fight that ticket, Texas is going to send that back to Kentucky, and then they will post those points into your MVR. And so I tell drivers, any of those moving violations or roadside inspections, we need to fight those, especially if it's a speeding ticket and you're going 10% over the speed limit, you must fight that ticket. And if it's 15 over, absolutely, that is a job stopper if you don't fight that ticket. I just recently got one dismissed for one of my drivers at Genox, which is over the road. And I was telling the safety director, I said, look, and I merchandise this. I'll go back to the safety director and I said, this is where we adjudicated this ticket and we got it dismissed. And she looked at me and she says, you know, you just saved this driver's job. I said, oh, really? Well, I knew that anyway. I said, oh, really? She said, yes, I was prepared to terminate him. So there you go, Mr. Robert.
Well, and the thing about it is their MVR not only affects their driving ability from the company, that also goes against their personal insurance.
That's right.
So they get a double hit on it.
Absolutely.
So,
Hey, Robert.
You're muted,
there you
Robert.
go.
So are you guys selling the super plan?
I'm not. I sell the combo. Honestly, when I look at the super, only client I probably would sell a super for is a guy that is not married, that doesn't have any kids. And, you know, he's maybe concerned about taxes and things like that. Because if he has a spouse, you know, she's gonna have to pay $50. The spouse will have to pay $50 if they want the wheel portion. They do get the tax part in that. The kids coverage, you know, that part is up to the age of 21. So, you know, I just learned from the trainings that the combos is better because I'm not giving, you know, the value is less in the super. But when I look at it, if I had a client that fit that criteria, he could benefit from that because he's getting that HBS part, you know. But other than that, no, I don't. So that's just me.
I don't sell the super either. And the other thing, just what Sharonda said, as far as the will and the spouse having to pay the $50, but also the will in the super plan only covers up to $50,000 in value, and the one in the standard plan covers over 100,000 in the value. So there's a big difference in what the will cover in both plans in the fine print.
Mm-hmm. You got it. You got it. Lamar?
Oh, I absolutely. I think the bundle plan, selling the doubles, is the way to go. It just offers that driver so much more protection. And even and I heard what Sharonda said about the single individual. Even I have found now that my mindset is selling the double, even the single drivers, and I sold 2 of them this past week, the double plan, and they were single individuals. And once I went through the benefits of the legal plan, it just offers them so much. I mean, if they got legal questions out there on the road, or they need to dialogue with an attorney, remember this: the CDLP is a ticket program. The Life's Event Personal Family Legal Plan is a legal program. And that's just real simple for everybody on this call. That's the best way I know to say it. One is a ticket program and one is a legal program. And everybody has legal issues from time to time. And they will need that program. And if you're driving commercially, especially these drivers with a CDL, and they're out there on the road, they need our commercial program. And so that's the way I sell it, those 2. And I'm going to say, as high as 80-something% now. And Mr. Randy, I'm getting better every day at selling those doubles. you know, and it really has helped my account retention. And as I'm selling that membership, and I'll just give you guys a little nugget here. And if you're making notes, you know, when Mr. Reynolds says, if you're making notes, you need to be making notes. So, and especially if it's in a new driver orientation class, I will remind that driver as I get to the application and I'm doing my close, just went through the membership perks, okay? And I get over there to that application and I just remind them, you probably just gave this company your bank account information to get automatic deposits made in your bank account. And you can use that same information on this application, the universal application. All we need is just the name of the bank. I don't even need the address. Just give me the name of the bank, account number, and the routing number. And once I started that, and I started sharing this with Randy some months back, and once I started doing that, I started closing so many accounts out there with the banking information instead of the credit card. If you want erosion in your account retention, if you're just selling debit cards and credit cards, you're going to have issues. And I'm starting to shift my business over to that bank account. It is more stable than anything out there. And you won't be disappointed. And I'm just going to share with everybody. Before, my account retention was in the 70s. And it would fluctuate anywhere from around 75 to 71. And now that, you know, the CDLP counts, and I shifted my thinking to selling doubles and to do the bank. And I closed 3 deals today over the phone of drivers calling me, and I got their bank account numbers on all 3 of those applications. So if you'll do that, you will not be disappointed in your account retention. Okay. And, but I just wanted to share that. I sell the doubles, Robert, to answer your question. I had to dialogue a little bit more. Wanted to give everybody a little nugget in there, but I sell the combo out there, the CDLP and the legal. And then I can add the gun program, ID Shield, and I do some of those as I go through there. Because on the application, I've had drivers look, what is this gun thing? What is that? And I explain it. And there maybe if I got 5 or 6 guys in the meeting, it may be 3 of them that want to add that to their application. So it's got where I will mention that in my closing, the gun program, because a lot of drivers do want that. Mr. Robert?
No, that's good. That's good stuff. And that's why we ask these questions, because we know that you guys are going to elaborate and give more information. So hopefully people are taking notes on that. I don't sell the super either. I probably sold 3 supers in my career with LegalShield, and I've been with LegalShield more than a decade. And I've only sold 3 of them. I don't sell them unless it's a very specific situation similar to what Sharon mentioned. Other than that, double plans, guys. Put them in the family plan, put them in the CDL plan. Let's go. All right, so come on, Randy. Let's look at some results, man. We know that they did road checks. We talk about them road checks week after week after week. Let's find out what we got. Let's look at some results from those road checks.
You sound like a sportscaster.
Well,
Sound like a sportscaster.
this is the article that I just got today. This is the article that I just got today, and it come out the 19th of July. It was on the brake safety day in May of May the 26th of this year. It was about CVSA, Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance, and it was in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. In all 3, there were 10,091 inspections that were done, and vehicles placed out of service because of brake-related violation, 1,273. However, if you go right down here, it shows that In Canada, there were just 946 inspections. And in Mexico, there were 487 inspections done. So that means 8,658 were conducted in the United States. So guys, in other words, all of your drivers out there, they understand the United States absolutely takes this stuff seriously. In Mexico, there were 14 vehicles that were removed out of their 487. In Canada, there was 108 out of their 946. But here in the United States, there was 1,151 vehicles that were put out of service because of violations. And so the thing about this is a good article to go to your safety officers, to your CDL people and show them, and then remind them with the other paper that we've got, Brake Safety Week. The whole week is coming up, July the 22nd. I mean, August the 22nd to the 28th. And that paper is already in the file section. This paper will be in the file section after we get through. And I think, Mr. Lamar, you had a couple of things you wanted to go over here on this.
Well, you know, Randy pointed out, now this is a one day, May the 26th. What do you think is going to happen when we go, what is that, 6 days from the 22nd to the 28th? I mean, these numbers will explode. And so this is a great opportunity. If you'll go find the brake flyer that we have posted and make sure you're getting that around to your prospects and to your customers. And brake is always, the brake week, the whole week is always a big ticket week. So you want to really stress on that. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, right now is the time. And I started emailing all of my transportation accounts, over 100 of those. I will email this document concerning the brake week, August 22nd through the 28th. I will start emailing that next week, because the maintenance directors in these transportation companies need to start checking these brakes at the beginning of August to make sure they get through the whole fleet. So for the last week, well, actually the third week, I guess, or towards the end of August might be the way to say it. You know, those trucks need to be already, the brakes should be already calibrated, because it will be intense out there on brake week. But Mr. Randy, this is one of the opportunities we have, and this is one of the greatest ones we'll have in this third quarter, is the brake week. Please take advantage of that. Please get these. I've got probably 25 or 30 of these in my car. And every time I go in, I probably gave some of my companies 2 and 3 copies of this. It does not matter. You know, sometimes I'll give it to the safety manager. Sometimes I'll give it to the safety director. And there's a lot of office staff, the ladies that collect all the tickets. I will make sure she's got one at her desk, because she'll put that on her desk and she will talk to the drivers as they come by and maybe turning in tickets. So you can't hand out enough. I mean, you can't hand out too many. Let me say it that way. So it's really good to merchandise this, Randy, but this is great information. And the numbers that Randy gave you is from 3 countries: the US, Canada, and Mexico. All right. So that's 3 countries there. But the numbers in the US is going to be much more. I think Randy said 8,000 and something. It's going to be many, many more than that in that 6-day blitz. Back over to you.
This particular blitz, you'll see right here, it says Brake Safety Day is the elite CVSA's announced brake safety initiative. In
Yeah,
other words, that one day was just an unannounced deal. So therefore, CVSA now is telling you, we're going to do this again, except in a major way, for a whole week in August. And so I thought this would be very good to hand out, to let them know that they popped this one day and they put over 1,100 trucks out of service in the United States. What are they going to do? How many are they going to put out of service if they're not up to date and ready to go, if they've got 5 or 6 days for the whole week to do it? So,
and Mr. Randy, I think it'd be good to point out here in the state of Texas, and I don't know how many states around have got these. They have high-tech scale houses. Texas DPS invested over $1 million in this scale house on I-10 in Seguin, Texas. Now, what's happening, and I think there's probably 5 or 6 states out there that's got these, is that truck is coming through the scale house, across the scales. They had infrared heat sensors on both sides, and they're picking up the heat off of these brakes. And if they're not picking up heat, let's say the front is hot, the front 2 brakes, the next 2 brakes is hot, the one on the left is hot, the one on the right is not giving out any heat. They're going to bring that truck over and take it through a level 1 inspection, because they know one of those brakes is out of adjustment. And then that officer, if it's not a pit, he's going to crawl up under there. And if it's a pit, they'll go across the pit and he'll check it. And that's where they're going to write that scale house in Seguin, Texas is writing a lot of tickets. And it's just not trucks from Texas. It's all over the country that's coming down I-10 from California to Florida. And there's, I think, about 5 or 6 of these big scale houses. We should investigate that to see where they're at, what states has got them. But they will write a lot of tickets in this August break week. Mr. Robert?
I've got a paper on that scale house there in Seguin.
Yeah.
I've got a handout sheet on it.
You've
And
posted
I
that
don't know,
one,
I
right?
think it should be in the file section.
Yeah.
Do what?
Yeah, I think you gave it to
I think it's in the file section.
Robert. Yeah.
If
Everybody
not,
needs to
if
grab
not, I'll
it and
post
look
it
at
again just so that it'll be there.
Yeah.
So real quick,
Yeah,
Lamar,
it'll be there.
let me ask this question, because that, like, I understand why a person needs that information. So if you called me and you told me what you just said here on the call, I would know. Okay, I would know how to go and use that information in the trucking company that I was going to go approach this morning, this afternoon, or whatever the case may be. So let's take the people on the call who don't know. You just mentioned, like, that's the big deal, right? That these trucks will get stopped and with their brakes out of adjustment, they get written up. So a person on the line hearing you say that doesn't really know anything about why that makes sense. How can they use that information when they go out tomorrow to prospect trucking companies, what you just said?
Well, one of the big reasons is Mr. Randy just put this article up there on the screen. You should go to to our Facebook page and grab this, because we started off talking about CSA points. And, you know, I've had quite a few drivers when I do a presentation say, Mr. Reynolds, I don't get tickets. I just don't get tickets. I don't think I need your program. I just don't get tickets. And I remind them, I said, well, you might think you're doing everything correctly. And you go through one of these scale houses and you might think your brakes are in adjustment, and that infrared heat sensor picks up one of the brakes that's not hot. They're going to write you a ticket on that. And, you know, you live in Texas and you got this ticket in Kentucky. Now what are you going to do? You're just going to pay that and let those, Robert, those points will go into the record of the driver, the CSA points. And if it goes into the driver's record, it goes on the company's safety stats. That's what their customers can view and is what the insurance rates are based on. Hey, that's my little script there, and I repeat it every day, because and there may be some people on this call that don't realize that, but if it's a DOT officer that wrote that, there's going to be CSA points that's going to go into your record that's going to stay there for 3 years. And if you don't fight that ticket, you're letting the police officer be the police officer, the judge, and the jury. And you're going to be guilty as charged. At least we have a chance if we fight it. I mean, you're in the membership, there's no attorney fees. I mean, if you're in the membership, you turn it in and we fight it. Who knows? The police officer may not show up for court. And with a transportation attorney, he can file a motion and get that whole ticket thrown out. But if the officer wrote up multiple violations there, Robert, that are citations, it's not uncommon that we get 1 or 2 of the 3 thrown out. We have to have a real good reason to get all 3 of them thrown out. But it's not uncommon that our transportation attorneys get 1 or 2 of those violations thrown out because they have a good relationship with the prosecuting attorney or the judge. And so all of these things, all these factors start to come into play. But if you don't fight it, you're just going to be hit with those points. Robert, I hope that answered your question. But yes, that's what happens when that roadside inspection, if that scale house is written, those points are going into your personal record and they're going to stay there for 3 years if we don't fight it and get it dismissed, reduced in charges, or not guilty. One of those 3.
Yep. No, that's good stuff. And that affects your insurance and that affects your customer contract, right? Just like the script says. Absolutely. No, that's good stuff.
Well,
Go
Robert,
ahead. You gonna say something?
Robert, this is good that we cover this because I had 2 associates this week that was not aware of how these points worked. Okay. And some people on this call. And so if it goes into the driver's record, or this one person was looking at the points and the SMS, and they were thinking that was the points for the driver. Well, actually in the SMS, that is the points that goes on the company. And it's for 2 years. But it's the same calculation of the points that goes into the driver's record. It's the same points the first 6 months that goes into the driver's record for a whole year. Now that's another training we could do one night, about 1 year.
Next week. We can do it next week.
Yeah. And so it's the same calculation for the first 6 months for the company as the first year for the driver. But if it goes in the driver's record, it goes on the company's record. And that happens all the time. And in the SMS safety stats, that is showing you the last 24 months of the points on that company's record. That's what is reflecting there. And I just wanted to reinstate that so everybody knows. Those points are going to stay on the driver's record for 3 years, but what you're looking at and that SMS is 24 months, and that is the company's record. That is being pulled from the driver's record. Okay. Mr. Randy,
Right, good stuff.
did I say
We're
that
gonna switch
correctly?
gears here, guys.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Yeah, so we're gonna switch gears here. And we're gonna switch gears here because we want to talk a little bit about the professionalism and being prepared to work with a field trainer and for the field trainers to be prepared to work with the field trainees, if that makes sense. And one of the things I will tell you, I don't know what goes on in the other regions of the country, so I'll let Lamar and Randy speak to that. I know the region that me and Sharonda are in. I know how it works in our region. And in our region, it's highly suggested in our region that if you're working with a field trainer, or if I'm a field trainer working with Lamar Reynolds as a trainee, that I have them get on a training call that we do on Tuesday mornings at 10 o'clock in the morning, so that that trainee can hear some training before they get on the blitz on Tuesday, right? So we should be inviting them to a training call where they can hear the other field trainers and certification trainers on the group business solutions side and on the CDLP side discussing different training topics. Every week we do a training topic. And we are encouraged as field trainers, if you're working with people in the field, invite them onto that call so that they can be trained by the field trainers and the certification trainers on things in the field, so that when you get them on the blitz, they actually know how to make those calls and things like that. They know how to set DM appointments and stuff like that. There's a lot of unprofessionalism going on. There's a lot of last minute, hey, can you help me with this DOT DM? Or I've got this person that's expecting to call at 11 o'clock and it's 10 o'clock and you want me to get on the phone and talk to this person in an hour. And with me, it's not going to happen. Now, I'm going to let the other trainers speak for themselves. If you schedule, you're going to have to schedule something with me. Like, I'm not getting on no call with nobody without pulling the company. First of all, if I don't got the DOT number, if I haven't pulled the company, I'm not even going to do a two-way call. Like, it's not even going to happen. So you're wasting your time calling me. You got to call me in advance because I need to know the DOT number. I'm going to pull a company. I'm going to see if they got any, because you're not going to have me get on the phone like boo-boo the fool and have a conversation with somebody that don't know nothing about what that company doing. It's not going to happen. So if you call me, it needs to be preparation. That's how it's going to work with me. The other trainers will speak about how it is to work with them. But you got to be prepared, guys. You guys we running businesses. This is a business. LegalShield is a business that you own. You cannot call a field trainer at 10 in the morning and say, I got a DM at 11 o'clock. Can you be available for me? Unless you got that kind of relationship with that field trainer and y'all have worked things out where you can do something spur of the moment like that because y'all that tight. You've done some professional DMs and it's just as a spur of the moment thing. If I don't know you and you don't know me, you certainly cannot text me at 10 o'clock and say, can you do a DM at 11 o'clock? Because even if I'm available at 11 o'clock, I'm gonna tell you no, I can't do it. Because it's just unprofessional and there's no preparation there. So you guys got to understand that. And ask the field trainer questions. Stop looking and seeing that somebody is a field trainer and thinking that they know everything about everything, because they don't. Right? So Sharonda sells way more small business plans than I do. When I say way more, that's an understatement. So if you're trying to sell a small business plan to an owner operator, if you call me, I'm going to tell you to call Sharon. Can I do it? Yes, I can do it, but I want you to work with the best person to be able to do it for you. And in my opinion, Sharonda does that better than me. So I'm going to sing to Sharonda, right? Because my interest is you as an associate, not as me getting some split or some bonus or any of that. I'm concerned about your business running correctly. And I feel like Sharonda's going to do a better job of selling that small business plan to an owner operator than I am. So I'm going to send you to her. If you're calling me and you got all these technical questions about points and violations, and this trucking company wants to know this, and I talked to the decision maker and he got all of these questions about all of these breaks and all, I'm going to have you call Randy or Lamar or Sharonda. I know that stuff, guys, but they do it more than I do. So I'm going to send you to one of them. Why? Because I want you to have the best experience. It's not about me getting half. It's not about me getting 25%. It's not about me getting a bonus. It's about you having the best experience as a field trainee with the best field trainer. And it doesn't matter where they're at. It doesn't matter whether they're in Texas, California, Atlanta, or Georgia or Florida. It doesn't matter, guys. So ask the field trainer questions, because we're going to ask you questions. Right? I just wanted to preface that conversation with that first. So I'm going to turn it over to Sharonda, because ladies first. Sharonda's gotten some text messages from some people as well with some things that that needs to be addressed, guys. We want your business to run professionally, and I'm not going to help you run it unprofessionally. And neither are the other field trainers. So Sharonda, I'm going to turn it over to you so you can kind of speak to some things that you're seeing happening as a field trainer that may need to be corrected and help your business run correct.
Right. And so, and I can appreciate that. And I give you kudos for that. Even when I was reaching out for training with Lamar and Dunbar, I could ask Dunbar things and he would just honestly say, that's not my deal. Like, you need to call Lamar. Like, that's not me. And you have to respect the trainer when they do that. You have to. Because they're looking out for you, you know, because it's your business. And like me, I'm at a point in my business, I'm a solutions trainer. We're all business solutions trainers. And do I have multiple companies? I have over 100 groups. And they range from cities to everything, schools, everything. Did I walk into some of those and get those groups? I did. A lot of them are conservation groups though, but I did. I walked into a lot of them. But if you call me today about a doctor's office or a dentist's office or probably anything outside of CDLP, I'll tell you quick, I might not be that girl. Because I know you're looking to win and I might not be strong there for you. And we might not close what you want to close out of that. So instead of me setting you up for failure, I'm going to be honest with you and say you may want to look into talking to somebody else outside of a CDL company, a transportation company, anything to do with CDL. Because honestly, that's just not my focus. That is just not my focus. And I'm going to tell you up and down that that's not my focus. And if you choose to say, well, I'm going to probably say, I'm not going to be able to do that because you're not going to stress me out. I'm just tell you that. Because I know you looking to win and whatever the outcome going to be, you're going to look at me as if it was me that didn't come up with that result you were looking for. So I got no stress in my life. So you're not going to be another one. So I'm just going to put that out there. Okay. So anyway, but the thing about it is, I just told them, like when I was in Cabo, I got like 5 messages of people with on the fly won't help. You know, and that's just not how you do it. And what upsets me is I've given you my time to consult with you on how this process works. So with me, people know I have a calendar. We talk about how the field training process works for me. I give you my calendar link to schedule appointments. But if you refuse to use that and just text me or call me out the blue, I'm like, Dunbar, I'm going to ignore you. Because I've given you the time to know how that process works. We're all working. And I'm gonna be honest, people will drain you of your time and then you don't hear from them anymore. Or you work with associates, and I'm being honest, and everybody know I'm the honest and the most realest person you're gonna hear from about this. And I work with a lot of trainers, and the trainers I work with a lot of associates, and the trainers know here because when we have our meetings, they know the results that I work with people. I do. But you have those associates that don't respect you and respect your time. And then you have those associates too that'll call you off the rip, or they'll take the time to work with you. They'll meet with you, you talk to them, start to work with them, and then they'll go and let their upline get the credit. That's disrespectful. I'm just telling you, that's disrespectful. So with me personally, it's a system, you know, and we know that all our numbers are out there. You can text or call me. I'll probably talk to you about 5 or 10 minutes, but we're going to schedule some field training time on the time that I say is the time that I want to talk about field training. I don't talk about field training all day. And people know that. In the mornings, I'm working my business, IPA, and I talk about field training probably after 3 or 4 o'clock in the evenings. And if you get it twisted, you're gonna know you got it twisted. If you use my DM appointment to talk to me about field training, we probably gonna end that conversation real short. So it's just about respect, because we're all building a business, but people tend to think that as field trainers, that the field trainer owe you, and they don't owe you. You know, they don't owe you anything. It's a pleasure for them to work with you, you know, just to help you. But as a field trainer, we just don't owe you. You know, it's up to us to decide who we want to work with, because we're independent. So just know that. So that's how it goes with me. I can go on and on about field training. People know that I will help. That's why I got LOJ a couple of years ago. And I love working with people, but we're going to do it right. And right is the way that I want to run my business when it comes to helping the field. Because I was respectful. Lamar can tell you, if I called him and he didn't answer, I didn't call him back to back. If I called Dunbar and he didn't answer, I didn't call him back to back. People would call you back to back like they toe cut off, or they done lost a leg and they bleed to death. I'm just saying, that's disrespectful. Anyway, over to the next person.
real quickly, before I give it to Randy and Lamar, I know you're talking about the link that you use to schedule your appointments. That's very important. Very, very, very important. I use links too for everything. I use links for 3-ways, for DM appointments, for if you want to do a consultation on field training, right? You don't even have no account yet. You're saying, I want to talk about using a field trainer. You can book a 30-minute, not 15, 30-minute conversation with me talking about using a field trainer. If I send you the link and you don't use the link to schedule it, you're not going to schedule an appointment with me, because you can't call me and schedule an appointment, because I'm not looking at my calendar and I don't have time to be haggling back and forth about when I'm available and when you're available. That's why I pay for a system that has a calendar. And a lot of the field trainers will do that. So if you text me and say, hey, look, I want to talk to you about field training, and I text you back, hit this link and schedule a 30-minute appointment, and you never do, you're not ever going to get an appointment with me. Because I'm not going to respond to, are you available at 7 o'clock tomorrow? I'm not going to respond to, are you available at 3 o'clock on Tuesday? Because I'm not looking at my calendar to schedule an appointment. That's why I have a link in a system that does that. And a lot of trainers have those. So when you guys see those, use those. It's easier for you too.
Dunbar froze.
Robert,
He was saying some good stuff. What he's saying is you need to use the link and stop texting outside of the link, because he gave you the formula of how to work with him and what he's not going to do. And that's what we're trying to convey, is that we give the time to share how to work with us, but then people decide, well, I'm going to just text you or call you off the rip. And that's just not how you do it. So that's because we want everybody to win, but sometimes people they're just disrespectful. So over to you, Lamar, Randy. Robert, Dunbar, you got bumped off.
Yeah, no, I saw it. That's fine though. Go ahead, because you finished off. You said what needed to be said. So Randy and Lamar, y'all can jump in.
Well,
Mr. Randy, go ahead.
I'll say this. I'll say ditto the same thing. The only other thing that I like for my trainees to learn or to have knowledge of is a little bit about Ellis Engage, where they find applications, where they find paperwork and stuff, and do at least know where the stuff for their CDL, if they're wanting CDL training, is in an Ellis Engage, and how to find it. Because if I want them to pull those papers to go over them and to talk to them about them, I don't have to train them on Ellis Engage to do that, or to train them on where their website is, or the different things that possibly really and truly their upline ought to be teaching them if they're signing them up to begin with. If they don't know how to do it, then they need to go above them and find somebody in their upline that can teach them how to work that stuff, so that they'll be proficient at that. And then we can get to training. Over to you, Lamar.
Yeah, I think you said it there, Mr. Randy, perfectly. I've recently had week before last and this past week, two associates, nobody on this call, by the way, and they were referred through the company for me to help them. And and I ended up spending 45 minutes with one and an hour on the other one because I felt sorry for them, because as Randy just indicated, their upline did not show them where to find an application. They didn't know where to go and find an application in LS Engage. And they did not know how to print off any sales material. Now, before it gets to one of us, the trainers, you know, the upline should bear some of that responsibility to walk them into the back office and show them all that. And this one person said, well, should I be concerned I hadn't sold a membership in 3 months? And I said, yeah, you should be concerned. Well, Mr. Reynolds, where do I find an application? And so I ended up going down that rabbit trail instead of focusing on selling a prospect. So anyway, I'm sure all you folks know that. If you don't know where to find an application, you don't know where to find the sales, please go to your upline. They will know. They need to take a little time and show you how to do that. And I think it was Sharonda that said earlier about sticking and staying. So there's a little phrase: stick and stay and get your pay. Okay. So there's a lot of information that you got to learn. And maybe you don't do it in 1 month, and maybe you don't do it in 2 months or 3 months, or open a big account or start opening groups, but you should be selling memberships. Okay. So just remember that you need to be selling memberships. But if you'll stick and stay, and the very person that I'd like to point to is Sharonda and Mr. Randy Hooker. I mean, these two people stuck it out, and man, the money started to come, success started to come their way. And so it's like getting these little sea legs, and you're learning all this thing about transportation, and now they start to take root, and now you're off to the races. And so we're just encouraging you folks to just do things in the right mode, and just be committed to be on the call and just learn as much information. It thrills me to share information with you folks. And many of you have just grabbed this information and ran with it. And that's good. I mean, one of us trainers might hold your hand for just a little ways, and then we let go, and man, you're off to the races. Let me do it. Okay, go. You know? So it's exciting for us trainers to do that success.
Hey, Robert, could I expound on something?
Yep.
What I do, I haven't been assigned as of yet, but I do have people that have started reaching out to me. And the first thing I ask them is, what's their persistency? Because if it's going to be a first time group opening for them, I do not want them to miss out on the $500 training bonus, because their persistency is below 77%. And that means I'm going to waste my time training you, doing this and doing that, and sharing and educating with you, working with you on opening up a group, regardless of what it is. I specialize in the commercial driver space, but I do open up B2B accounts as well. And so I had one person that their persistency numbers is extremely low. No one called, but their numbers are extremely low. And I sent out text messages of what you need to print out first, so you will know what your job is as an associate, because it is your responsibility to keep your persistency numbers up. I don't want to have to put in training and being in vain. And then you won't be able to open up that group. And the second question is, have you taken a class yet? Have you taken a CDLP class? Have you taken level 1 or level 2 class yet? Because I don't want you not to come in here blindly, not knowing what we're speaking about, especially the commercial driver space. I highly recommend that you take 2 commercial drivers training classes and start jumping on the Monday night training calls and watching the recordings and working yourself backwards. You won't understand the lingo on the front end, but you'll start understanding it more and more that you're listening to it. And like Robert says, this is right now information that we're speaking on Monday nights. And the third thing is, hey, I do have a Calendly. Here's my links just as well, because when I was in Cabo, I got a couple of phone calls while I was asleep, and thank goodness I keep my telephone ringer off so I didn't get woken up in the middle of the night. But Sharanda did mention that is very disrespectful to say, hey, if somebody snap your fingers and think that we're going to jump for you all, it doesn't work like that. I had one today that person saying, when I'm trying to run for ED, I'm trying to get my numbers in and this and that and that and this. Although I'm in Virginia right now to work on my accounts. I'm not up here vacationing and to chit chat with the associates that was here when I left. I'm here to work on my business, open up 3 commercial driver's accounts and probably 2 regular B2B accounts. And I said, okay, so share with me what it is that you need for me to do. I said, because if I'm going to open up these small businesses for you, there's a 50-50 split. Oh no, I want it all. I said, well, I can't work with you. I'm not going to let you pull information out of me and you're not expecting me to do a 50-50 split because you're running for ED. Guess what? I'm running for platinum. The same rules apply. I'm a businesswoman like you're a businesswoman. So you're not going to take my time, my knowledge, my education, my 19 years of service with LegalShield for you to get that work at. And so because I'm a change associate from Cabo, this is no stand that. I'm running for platinum, and guess what? I can't run for platinum if you're trying to squeeze the blood out of me to get my information when I could be talking to my own commercial drivers group and get it done just like that. So be respectful of the associates' time, of the field trainers' time. Know your numbers, know what if you want us to help you all, know that you need to have persistency numbers or you will not receive a bonus. Because that's a bad feeling to have, training someone and thinking it's going to be your first group and you don't qualify for that group because you failed to read that flyer that they put out on Tuesday nights on the leadership shows and or on the Blitz. We're all independent associates. We're all business owners and we're here to help you. But if you don't want to help yourself, please don't come asking me if I've shared with you what you need to do as a helpful nugget. That's how I listed that. So with that, Robert, I'll turn the call back over to you, sir.
All right, can you guys hear me? My system keeps going out. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
All right, good stuff. All right, guys, it's 9:48, so I know we gotta close out here. The only other thing I would mention to you all is that also, if you're going to work with a field trainer on the CDLP side, not on the regular group side is something different. On the CDLP side, and work with a field trainer, please make sure you look at the annual video that we do on CDLP. Because if you don't understand pulling companies and all of those things, you're going to have a difficult time in CDLP space trying to work with a field trainer if you don't understand those things. So just make sure that you watch that video. You can go to the YouTube channel and watch it. Go to Robert at Training by Dunbar, or just go to Robert Dunbar, go to that YouTube channel, click on CDLP weekly call, or you can see it right on the Facebook page. Take a look at that video. It's an hour and 45 minutes. That's one of the first questions I ask if you call me to do a group. I ask you, have you looked at the video? If you said you haven't, I tell you, look at it and give me a call back. Because if not, I got to explain all of this stuff to you. You don't know what SAFER is. You don't know what SMS is. You don't know what a safety score is. In my opinion, you shouldn't be opening up a group. So you learn those things, understand them first before you work with a field trainer so that you kind of can figure out where everything is at and know what's going on and know that you're not pulling companies that don't need your assistance, right? Because I don't want to call a company that has no, no OOS situations going on, no any of that, and we're trying to prospect them because that's not low-hanging fruit for us. So make sure you understand that stuff as well. So with that being said, guys, thank you guys all for assisting with us. Thanks for staying on with us until 9:50. We're going to do it all again next week, Monday. We're going to talk about where you can find things at on LS Engage. We may have Alan Roman on the call next week. So I'm going to give him a week rest before I get him on the call next week. And we'll be on this Saturday. We'll be doing our training this Saturday. So get plugged into that as well if you want to. Don't forget, Thursday night, Sharon Ivy does an accountability call as well. So if you if you really hard, you're running, you're saying, hey, I'm making the calls, start by getting on the accountability call, because that makes it an easier trek to going into the field, working with a field trainer. If you're at least on the accountability call with Sharon and the other people that are working, that way you guys all understand exactly what's happening in the field. So with that being said, guys, we're gonna go ahead and close out. Appreciate you guys all again, the trainers, the field trainers, and the trainees, and everybody that's listening in every week. So you guys have a great rest of your week. We talk to you guys all next week.
Thank
Great
you.
call, guys. Thank you. Great training.
Thank you, guys.
Safe travels, Anthony.
Thanks so much, all the trainers.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Good
much.
night.
Thank you.
Thank you and good night.
Good night.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Good night, fam. Careful out there, Anthony.
I went in my system and it shows that I owe $24.95, and then 2 days later, I put $9 on my account. So it should be that shit so sweet, but it doesn't. And y'all know it doesn't, and y'all don't have it showing for a reason. Y'all don't have it showing because y'all don't want a person to know it. Like, don't talk to me like that. I want to do this. I want to do this. Y'all don't have that. Y'all estimated amount.